The fall promises to bring one of the most stacked lineup of game releases ever, with so many highly anticipated titles on multiple platforms and genres. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 15 big upcoming games in fall 2017. Keep in mind that this covers September 21st to December 21st, so games have to fall within that window. With that being said, let's get right into this. Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed Origins is the latest in the long-running franchise by Ubisoft. Typically, Assassin's Creed would be a yearly franchise, however, Ubisoft decided to take last year off and refine the Assassin's Creed formula. This game serves, as the title would suggest, as an origin story about how the struggle between the Assassins and the Templars came to be. Assassin's Creed Origins will also be making several gameplay changes to make the overall experience much better. The game comes to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 27th.
Exactly. So here, this is another military camp, but this one's slightly different. This one's a wharf. Here, what we wanted to show is just what it's like to take on enemies that are much higher level. So here we'll see some guards. So there's some in the front gate there. So level 25, you see that the badge is red, which is kind of telling the player, yes, you can try.
Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor was one of the best games early on in this generation. It had great gameplay, reminiscent of something like Batman Arkham, a relatively large open world, and a solid story. Now we have the follow-up, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, which will look to build and expand upon the successes of the first game. The Nemesis system expands upon its introduction in Shadow of Mordor to apply to a larger part of the world, including other characters called followers. Middle-earth: Shadow of War comes October 10th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
This foe is beyond us, Celebrimbor. Not with the spirit of Kana at our side.
Star Wars Battlefront II. The 2015 Star Wars Battlefront game was without a doubt one of the most anticipated games of this generation. The hype for that game was enormous. Unfortunately, I think most would say it failed to live up to expectations. The game wasn't all bad. Fundamentally, it was actually very good. The problem was it just had a severe lack of content for a $60 game. That looks to be changing in the sequel. Star Wars Battlefront II, unlike the first game, will feature a story-driven single-player campaign, as well as multiplayer character classes and cross-era characters. Star Wars Battlefront 2 comes to PC, Xbox One, and PS4 on November 17th.
We do. So another thing that those air vehicles are great at is trying to take out some of the ground vehicles that you may see. The droid army has the AAT tank, something that's really great at troop suppression. But we see here a little clip of the V-Wing doing that. Oh man, he's just mowing some droids down there.
Yeah, it's just absolutely shredding. You're going to see this happen quite a bit, especially in this phase, because there's a lot of open field here, right? And you can just come through for some great straight...
Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. Wolfenstein: The New Order was another fantastic game early on in this generation. It was a great single-player only first-person shooter with a fantastic setting and story. Now we have the sequel, Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. Following the events of the first game where the Nazis won, set in the 1961 Nazi-occupied America where a second American Revolution is being set up. Expect this to be another great first-person shooter with fantastic storytelling and engaging characters. Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus hits PC, PS4, and Xbox One on October 27th.
Let's go someplace else. But Mom, we don't have any buts.
Oh! Bitte schön.
Danke.
Good day, ma'am. You, one strawberry milkshake, please. Oh, I hope you don't have a fire back there to put out. If so, I'll come back another time.
I'm sure the fire can wait, Commandant. One strawberry milkshake coming right up.
The Evil Within 2. The Evil Within was a great survival horror game. It had an amazing atmosphere and it absolutely nailed the horror element. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but there was a lot of potential in a future entry, and The Evil Within 2 is on its way this fall. What we've seen so far has really set the same kind of tone and premise that we had in the previous games, but to a greater extent. The Evil Within 2 hits PC, PS4, and Xbox One on October 13th.
A world whose very fabric I can shape. But where can I go from here? She is the key. The path to ultimate power. She is the brush. Blood is my paint. And this world is the canvas.
Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Visual novels aren't the marquee blockbusters that a lot of the other games on this list are. However, Danganronpa is a fantastic series of games. Sure, those not familiar with the genre or style of gameplay, which it's very light on, may find it off-putting at first, but given time, Danganronpa will absolutely hook you. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony is the latest in the series, and it's a brand new story, so playing the other games isn't necessary. The story pits a group of people forced to play a death game, and it'll be filled with twists and turns. Danganronpa V3 hits PC and PS4 on September 26th.
I can't let you all rely on my magic. Besides, I don't have enough MP left. I'm not a bad girl, really. Don't worry. Atua is watching over us. Are you okay with being the culprit? Are you ready to turn yourself in? Thank you, Atua, for being with us today.
Super Mario Odyssey. Mario is headed its way to the Nintendo Switch with Super Mario Odyssey, which returns the series to open-ended, free-roaming, exploration-based level design. The game itself visually and stylistically looks terrific. Gameplay-wise, expected to be top-notch, and many refinements have been made, such as Mario's ability to throw his cap, which is possessed by a spirit known as Cappy. The game also has cooperative play, in which a second player takes control of Cappy and can attack enemies independently of Mario. Super Mario Odyssey comes exclusively to the Switch on October 27th. Forza Motorsport 7. Forza has become one of the staple franchises when you talk about Xbox and now Windows. It's so consistent to the point where you think it would become a little stale by now, but it really hasn't. Now we're up to Forza Motorsport 7, which will feature over 700 cars and more than 200 different configurations to race across 30 locations. Forza 7 will also be enhanced by the Xbox One X running at 4K and 60 frames per second. The game comes to Xbox One and Windows on October 3rd.
Pass.
But in Forza Motorsport 7, we've reimagined the entire racing experience on all devices. Racing is more immersive and dynamic. Ominous skies roll in as car parts rattle and vibrate. We've made racing more epic.
Call of Duty World War II. Call of Duty, the yearly juggernaut, is back once again, but with a little bit of a twist. As the title of the game suggests, Call of Duty World War II will take the franchise back to World War II. It's been a while, but it's not just the setting. The gameplay is receiving an overhaul as well. Gone are the usual create a class system, rather World War II features divisions. You choose one of 5 divisions, each with their own unique skills. Zombies will also return with its own original storyline set in an alternate history and separate from the campaign. Call of Duty World War II comes November 3rd to PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Guys back then enlisted in the war and wanted to make a difference, having no idea what was going on. Right, and the first tour of duty is on Normandy and D-Day, and that was a big thing for a lot of people. So you're experiencing
South Park: The Fractured But Whole. South Park: The Stick of Truth was one of the surprisingly great games of last generation. Very few expected a traditional RPG set in the South Park universe to be amazing, but that's exactly what it was. The world was recreated perfectly, featuring the same witty humor, and mechanically the game was well made. Now we have the sequel, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Expect the same humor and presentation, but now with a superhero theme, featuring 12 different classes. South Park: The Fractured But Whole comes October 17th to PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Out of control in our town. Coon and friends are this city's only hope. All right, now you need to go out into the town and do superhero stuff. You know, help people and fight crime and dumb shit like that. Well, how's the character sheet coming?
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Dragon's Dogma was a fantastic RPG released very late last generation, and now it's headed its way to current gen in Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which includes the base game as well as the Dark Arisen expansion. Seeing the games on current gen consoles will be great, because if there was a complaint, it was that it did lag a bit behind performance-wise. But with more power to be utilized, that shouldn't be an issue at all now, and Dragon's Dogma will offer a ton of content for your money. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen comes to PS4 and Xbox One on October 3rd.
Strength in numbers, Arisen.
Goblin!
Cuphead. Cuphead has been one of the Xbox One's more anticipated games over the last few years. It's a run-and-gun platformer in the style of a 1930s cartoon, and artistically, the game looks absolutely fantastic. The game stars Cuphead as he loses a bet with the devil and spends the game attempting to repay it. It features continuous boss fights as well as a cooperative mode where a second player can help you by playing as Mugman. Cuphead comes to Xbox One and PC on September 29th. Pokken Tournament DX. Pokken Tournament is headed its way to the Nintendo Switch in the form of Pokken Tournament DX. The game itself was already really good, and DX adds the last 4 fighters that were in the arcade game, another exclusive fighter, as well as new game modes. The Switch's library has been quickly growing, and Pokken Tournament DX is another great addition. It comes September 22nd exclusively for Switch. Gran Turismo Sport. Gran Turismo is finally making its way over to the PlayStation 4 with Gran Turismo Sport, which series creator Kazunori Yamauchi is considering the first title in a new generation of Gran Turismo games. GT Sport includes 3 main game modes: Campaign, Sports Mode, and Arcade Mode, and of course one of the big elements of Gran Turismo Sport is the fact that it has full VR support. After a long wait, GT Sport finally hits the PS4 on October 17th.
Or without hitting them.
So far they're making it easy for you.
Yeah, but watch out for this turn right there.
Yep.
I slide around.
Easy. And, how long do you have to do this?
I will have to do this. There's another turn coming up, and once that turn ends, the drill ends. So I have to.
You have to really.
Finally, Vampyr. Vampyr is an action RPG revolving around Jonathan Reed, a doctor who has turned into a vampire, and now coming to terms with his new condition, he must deal with being torn between the Hippocratic Oath and his newfound bloodthirsty nature. You don't have to kill to finish the game, and there are a lot of options in how you tackle the game. As far as setting, it takes place in an open-world London, specifically during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. Vampyr has potential to become a major franchise. It comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One in November.
So we're now en route to the docks to find Sean and understand why he's fled away from the hospital and probably killed another patient, Harriet Jones. As a vampire, you have access to skills in combat as well as outside of combat, often to help you traverse a semi-open world. The most efficient way to grow stronger is to feed from the healthy.
So that wraps up 15 big games coming in fall 2017. What do you think? Which fall games are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.